Hey everyone, I'm Jessica with Pencil First Games, and today I'm super excited to show you a solo playthrough of the 100 Torii Diverging Paths, the expansion to the base game that's right back here. So we're going to dive right in and see the new characters and some of the new locations and how that plays as Onatsu returns. So let's go! So I have everything set up to play the 100 Torii, all the base game stuff, plus some expansion stuff that I'll go over quickly, and then we're going to jump into the solo play. So I've got a lot of the tokens from the base game you'll recognize. We've got a few new tokens that I'll explain in a second for the shrine that I'm using down here. We have two new characters with some of their new components, which again, we're going to get to in 1 second. But in general, we have the garden area down here, and then Onatsu, the solo opponent, she's going to be collecting everything in this region. These are my two starting coins just in the middle of nowhere. We'll see how this pans out. We may move some stuff around. But the nice thing here is you have your reference board for all those different characters, and this comes with a reminder for the two new characters. So there's going to be the gambler who has the new die, which is up here, and this has a different landmark on each side. So the cost there is 1 coin or small token to roll the die. You can do this multiple times, but you're going to place this on a path. So not covering a landmark like the poet can, but you're going to be putting it on a path. So there's some interesting scoring opportunities there. The other option is the Pilgrim, who's also new, and she introduces the Lonely Path tiles. So for 3 coins or small tokens, these are the new Lonely Path tiles. So I'll just take out a few just to show you. They are 2 tiles wide, but they count as 1 tile. And they can kind of go in different directions. They're great for connecting different areas. They all have different configurations. So you can either take one that's from out of play, or if there's one in play, you can actually move that around. So again, more ways to play. And again, there's those character tokens, because in solo, you can hire each character a maximum of 2 times, 2 per game. So deciding when to use them is always interesting and introduces, again, new ways to play. Now, those are the new characters. Then there are 4 new locations that you can use. Similar to the multiplayer game, you can kind of mix and match these. The solo game, you can have 1, 2, or 3 different shrines in play. For this one, I chose 2. The easiest one is just to use one of them. Hardest is going to be using 3. So again, just to really quickly go through what is included there, let's get our reference back up together. But there are going to be these really nice tuck boxes included, and these are for each of those different shrines that I was mentioning. So there's 4 different locations or shrines, 4 different tuck boxes. You keep everything neatly organized in there. So the 2 that I'm showing here are the Fushimi Inari Shrine, which is this one. That introduces some wild tokens that I can earn when I complete a path around. And we'll see how that works again more when we play. But those tiles or tokens are kind of mixed up in here. And then we are using the Nonomaya Shrine, which is over here. It introduces a deck of cards, which is right here. I'll give them a shuffle again, but these are going to introduce goal cards that if I can complete them, I'll get 3 points. And then if Onatsu picks them up and she completes the requirements at the bottom, which is 2 characters or enclosures of a matching type, she gains 3. And that's the other interesting part here, is how does Onatsu work now with these new locations? And you'll see the solo board. Let's get the tuck boxes out of the way. They are really nice, though, and really neat for organization. So let's get those out of the way for now. And Onatsu's board, again, if you're familiar with the base game, there it is. The new pieces from the solo are going to be these cardboard tiles that go above any 2 columns. So I could set it up like this. I could set it up like this. It doesn't matter where they go, just as long as they're above 2 different columns. And what's going to happen is, again, these are the matching ones for each location. So there's one in each of those tuck boxes I showed. And these are going to trigger when I place a tile in those columns. So the way that I have it set up right now, the Fushimi Inari shrine would get triggered if I get bridges or those water basins over here. Nothing in terms of the locations happens in the middle too, because again, nothing up here. And then the Nonomaya shrine will trigger if there are any rocks or those fox statues or the Inari statues. So lots of other things to consider here. Remember that Onatsu, when she picks up tiles that have torii gates on them, there are things that happen. She gets bonuses. So again, lots more going on as we move into the expansion. Again, if you're familiar with the base game, you know that the starting tile, you'll only start with this one in play. With the expansion, we now have these starting tiles that create a path, and these are randomized. What you'll do is you'll have them flipped over at the start. For more than one shrine, you will use all 8 of them. So your starting area is going to kind of change every single time, and then you're determining where the furthest path is from the starting tile, starting with the very last one placed, which was here. You'll sometimes have a path that kind of meanders very far away. Sometimes it'll turn back a little bit like this, but this is generally what you will see. And we have our shrines out there. So let's dive in and just start playing. And hopefully that'll show you how some of these new mechanics work. So again, I started with 2 coins. And the start of my turn, I am going to draw 3 tiles. So let's see what we got. And again, I'm keeping an eye out for torii gates because we kind of want to limit what Onatsu picks up. So remember, I'm going to place one of these tiles in the garden. She's going to get the other 2. Now, once I've drawn my tiles, I do have the opportunity to hire a character if I'd like to. So right now, my options are the vendor, where I can place one of these tiles in the bottom of the stack and draw a new one, or I could do the gambler, which isn't really going to help me here, I don't think. Again, that's the new character with placing that die out there, or rolling it and placing the die. And then the samurai in the solo mode, she actually blocks one of the columns here. I don't think I need anybody. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to look for a nice path to put on here. I kind of want to go towards the Fushimi Inari shrine again to show you how those wild tokens work. So let's take a look at what we could put down there. So I am looking at probably going to grab one that has a torii on it. Again, that's going to limit what Onatsu picks up. So let's see. The tricky part here is that neither of these landmarks go through those torii gates. But I still want to pick up some tokens here. So let's take a look. It looks like, my best bet I think is the lotus. So I am going to place that one, and let's see where we can go. It's a tricky layout because it kind of goes in around itself. So where shall we go first? I think, all right, let's take a look here and see how this looks. So my nearest lotus token, I don't see any that way. There's one there. Ooh, that's a little close. However, I am going to do that. So what that's going to get me, we'll follow our path here. So I'll get 1 lotus token for this path. I get another lotus token for that red torii that I'm going through. And then I'm going to go up through again. I'm trying to find the shortest path. So the shortest path is going to follow here. There's another lotus token. So I'm going to go through a blue torii gate and pick up one more token that is not the lotus. So, let's pick up a bridge. At this point, we'll see how that pans out. And I did say that I wanted to go, okay, so I didn't go through here, but my path did end on this tile, which is adjacent to the Nonomaya shrine. So that's 1 tile. So I actually get to pick up a gold card, and let's see what it is. So I actually don't remember this one, but here's a good thing. This is a good piece of information. Inside the rule book, there is a fantastic reference area for all of those. This one escapes me at the moment, so let's go find out. Gain exactly 1 small token of any type on your turn. Okay, got it. So just 1 token. So again, I have this. I have not earned those 3 points yet, though, because I have not completed it. So I am just going to leave it down here, a little turn to the side, just to remind myself I have not completed that yet. So that would be my turn. Then Onatsu will get hers. So let's see. Ooh, she's going to get 2 stones. All right, so again, this is in the stone column. And that's going to trigger, though. So since I've triggered here, go back up, she is going to gain a Nonomaya goal card. Now she's going to ignore, for the solo opponent, the top part does not matter. All we're looking at is that bottom section. And she is now looking for 2 vendor tiles. So again, when she gets the 4-point ones up there, if she gets 2 of those, she will gain an additional 3 points. So I like to put that above the one that matches, so that's going to be here. That's just a reminder to me that I might want to be careful about letting her pick any of those up. And then, unfortunately, she gets another stone, so there's several things that happen here with this tile. Number 1, it's her second stone, so she's going to get the 5-point stone. And then there is a Torii gate on it, a red one, so that gives her a 4-point. Who is that? That's the samurai. So we'll get that one up here. Again, I usually have a little more space, but just to make sure we got everything on camera, I'm overlapping things a little bit, but I'm not done. She also, again, triggered that Nonomaya goal card, so we see what that one is. Ooh, and that is the same one. You'll recognize him again. So this goes here. This does not mean that she needs 4, though. 2 will complete both of those cards. So I need to be really careful about giving her any red Torii with lanterns. Noted. For the moment. We'll see if it pans out. And then that is a turn. So let's keep going. I'm going to speed up just a little bit here. Just really highlighting what I do in terms of using the expansion characters and those new locations. So let's see. That has a lantern. All right, I'm definitely going to give that one up. That has a, okay. And again, double Torii gates on a tile are really bad for giving to Onatsu, because she will then draw a tile from the top of the deck and gain that one. So I believe these 2 are going to go to her, and I am going to be using this tile. So remember, I have that goal card. Can I complete? Let's take a look. Is there a rock nearby where I can just gain literally 1 token? Or, oh, nope, that's 2. I was just thinking if I put this Inari statue here, there is a Torii gate in between there, though. So, okay. That's not it. Oh, I got it. I got it. Figured it out. I'm excited. I got it. If I place this right here, the closest, I get to choose here, actually, because again, I have an Inari statue. I can either go here, the tile up, or to the tile to the left. However, if I go to the tile to the left, I'm going to get another token, which is normally that's what I want to do. But in this case, I just want the 1 token. So for completing that, again, because I connected a path with those 2 matching landmarks, I'm going to gain 1. Where am I here? There it is. 1 Inari statue. And that now, again, because I completed this goal, this is now worth 3 points to me. So I'm going to leave it face up like this as a reminder that I now have 3 points. And that did not go anywhere near the shrine, so nothing there. Fine. I am going to place this one, which has a stone or a lantern. We talked about this. I don't want to put anything in that lantern column if I can't help it. So stone column it is for 3. That doesn't happen, but you draw another goal card for Onatsu. So with this one, who is that? I can never recognize. That's the poet. The poet. So that'll be in here. This is kind of neat because I have space to put those. So that's the reminder there. And then I have a choice to put this either with the stones or with the Inari statue. Either way, she will get the Nonomaya. So I actually am going to place it here in the stone column, which gets her to a 10-point stone. However, that means no other tiles will be placed in this section. So again, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's maxed out. However, there is a red torii, so let's get ourselves another samurai. I kind of offset those a little bit just as a reminder for myself. And then, did I not? Nope, I didn't pick it. She gets another Nonomaya gold card. Oh my goodness, and look at that. That's the vendor again. And they are not going to stack nicely at all, but that's really bad. We do not want Onatsu to pick up anything. No red torii gates here at all. Thank you very much. But anyway, that's a turn. So let's keep going. And now I have one thing that I should be looking at is hiring a character at this point, because I have a lot of small tokens to use, so I can afford everybody. And that also is useful because as you use characters, you gain their character points, basically. But I can only use them twice per game. So let's take a look. So I've got this one, and I've got this one, and this one. So I think, again, you want to limit the torii gates you give Onatsu usually. But I think what I want to do here is I definitely want to try to use... Let's see. Where are the water basins? Let's see. I wonder if I can get a water basin the way that I want it to go. It's not the way I want it to go. Not at all. I wonder if I can get it up that way. I'm just, again, this is me planning here. I'm thinking of using the geisha who lets me actually place 2 tiles. Let's see. So if we go here, the water basin gets me back there. There's not one closer. But I could potentially get through there. All right, you know what? I'm going to place it for a second, and I know I have to pay, but sometimes just for me, visually speaking, it's just easier to see. So if I'm going to do that, closest water basin, that's 1, 2 away. It's 1, 2, 3 away. So we'll be going this way, which is a bit unfortunate. It's because I'm not really going through a lot of torii. However, I think I'm going to do this. It may not seem like the greatest move ever, but there's a couple of interesting things along the way. So let's do it, okay? So now, first of all, don't forget that I need to pay for that. So that was the geisha. So I'm going to pay, actually, what am I doing? I'm going to pay with 2 coins. We'll drop those off. And I'm going to drop a bridge token. So that's 3 total. I usually do this in the middle of play because I am notorious for forgetting who I used. So I'm going to gain my token there just as a reminder. And then we score that path. So again, when you use the geisha, you're only scoring for that second tile placed. So I am using it for water basins. So I'll get 1 water basin just for this path. And then let's see, there are going to be 1, 2, 3 red torii and 1 blue as I get to here. However, there's a few other things going on. So let me grab, what did I say? That's 3 more water basin tokens. Almost to 5. Oh, but I think I can actually get there. We'll see in a second. 1 of another type, so I will gain a lotus. Getting up there with there. And then a couple of things happened here. I actually triggered both shrines because I completed a path that uses tiles that are adjacent to them. So the Nonomaya shrine, I had 1 here. Actually, did I get 2? Oh, I actually have 2, these 2. So I pick up 2 cards. Let's take a look. This is for a path that is 8 plus in length. That's going to be tricky. And this is for getting, my goodness, is that for 8? We love our 8s here. And again, this, I had this memorized at one point, square a path of 8 or more, gain 8 or more small tokens on your turn. It's exactly what I thought it was, just confirming. So 8 or more small tokens on a turn. That could be tricky too. It's fine, we'll work towards it. But then don't forget, this path went to here, and because this is adjacent to the Fushimi Inari shrine, I get 1, because again, 1 tile there, wild token, which is this one. You can either save up these wild tokens to get, again, we have the 5 and the 10 pointers, or you can actually use them as a wild token. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to use the one that I just picked up, plus 4 water basins, in order to get me the 5-point water basin. Yeah! And then since I placed 2 tiles this turn, this is the only one that's going to Onatsu. And it's a bridge and a lantern. There's, all right. Here's the tricky part. I don't want any red torii here. No, you know what? We're gonna place it here. This actually helps protect me because again, I do not, absolutely do not want to put a red torii gate in this column. Great, I'm good. We are all set. Let's go on to the next turn. So is this 3? That's 3 tiles. Oh, there's a nice little water feature there. All right, that one is there. And okay, so looking at these, I'm okay with giving Onatsu these 2 tiles that don't have any torii gates on them. The double torii gate, on the other hand, that's definitely for me. And I can actually, ooh, do I want to do that? Again, you want to use characters when you can to pick up more points. So I wonder, okay, so this is a lantern. I wonder if we could cover up, okay, that might work. What about over here? Don't really have a good option. Again, I'm thinking in my head about where to put these, with this tile. But we could potentially go there and then try that. Okay, that might work. So I am actually going to use the poet right now, which is going to cost me 3 tokens. So I will spend my Inari statue and then 2 of the lotus ones. I'm going to pick up the poet tile before I forget. This also helps keep track in the solo game of when you've used those characters, which is very important because, again, twice maximum. And I am going to take the poet, who's a little far away. Get over here, poet. And I'm actually going to cover up this lantern space right there. And I am going to place, let's see, I could use, oh, that's perfect. I'm going to place this right here to complete a lantern path. So, once again, just making sure, yep, that's a split path. I will get 1 token for completing a lantern path. Then there are 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get, that's 4 red torii, so I'm actually just going to immediately, 1 plus 4 gets me to 5. Pretty good. And then I'm going to run out of space, but that's fine. There's 1 blue torii gate, so I will grab a lotus token, sure. And what else happened? I had a whole lot going on around that Nonomaya shrine. So let's see, there's 1, 2, 3. I would get 3 cards there, so let's see. I'm going to look these up in 1 second. Oh, these are all different ones. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Interesting. All right, so I definitely not 8. I'm looking at the ones that I already have. That's not it at all. And again, I'm 99% sure I know what this is, but I would rather be correct than guess. So, okay, this one is fun because what this is telling me is I need to place a tile adjacent to a stacked tile. So if I use the gardener and then place a tile adjacent to that, that could be worth 3 points. That's fantastic. And then this is scoring a path of length 4 or more that contains no gates. Some tricky goals, but you know, I'll make it there. That is all of mine. I'm actually just going to stack up all of these because I will take a look as I am planning that. Anyway, and I realize I'm encroaching a little bit on Onatsu's space. Excuse me, sorry. So she's going to gain this one, which is going to trigger, she's going to gain a gold card. And what is that for? Oh my goodness. The Poet. So we're going to watch out for those there. And then a Lantern, which again, that's fine because there's no red Torii gate. And since that is 2, she will gain the Lantern 5-pointer. All right. Okay. All right. So that is that turn. Let's keep going. Let's see. What do we got here? Ooh, lots of double and lots of gates going on here. To protect myself, though, I really feel like we have to, yeah, I think if we go there, I mean, that's a good path I got going. And what I'm thinking here is I only have 2 small tokens, so I can't hire a lot of, I don't have too many options. Oh, wait. I figured it out. Oh, this will be fantastic. So what I am going to do is I am going to use 2 tokens to hire the Samurai. As a quick reminder, this is the multiplayer Samurai rules over there. For solo, the Samurai is on the solo board, just as a quick reminder of how that works, and also the change to the vendor. So the Samurai here is worth, she's going to cost 2 to hire. Again, I'm just going to grab her. She's sitting in front of me and I can't see her. So we're going to grab the Samurai, and the Samurai, I then get to place her on the solo board, on Onatsu's board, and she blocks 1 column from getting anything. So I'm going to put her on the the fox statue one. There we go. So she can't collect anything this turn. Again, the Samurai is only good for 1 turn, but I will show you in a second. It's fantastic. Okay, if I do this actually isn't a bad move. What is that? That'll get me to there. That's a lot going on. Okay. And it keeps, I'll take it. All right, so we might have to move some things around eventually, but that is the enigma of tile placement and gardening here. So I'm going to place that up there. And what I am scoring is for the Lotus. So I will grab 1 token for that. And there's a lot on this path. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 additional ones. So I'm just going to pick up a 5-pointer. Remember, again, you have to convert those immediately. So very important to keep up with that. So that was 6. Okay, and I don't think we achieved anything that I needed to. There's tons of gates there. We got 6. That was, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we did not score any of our gold cards. However, I do get 3 more gold cards. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. All right, this one's fun. This is placing a tile adjacent to the Poet. So I have 1 option right now, but I could always move the Poet around. This again is gaining just 1 small token as I complete a path. And this one is getting 3+ tokens of different types when I complete a path, at least once again. You know, it's like I memorize these. I'm 99% sure. Yeah, gain 3 or more different kinds of small tokens on your turn. So different kinds, not just 3+, but all right, I can do that. That scores there. And then it's Onatsu's turn, but remember I placed the Samurai here. So this tile only has a fox landmark on it, so it can't go there. So this is just completely out of the game. I'm just putting it off to the side. And then the same thing here. So if this had 2 different types of landmarks on it, I'd have to place it somewhere else. But I planned that well, and she gets a nothing. That's how you potentially win, but I'm not really sure. All right, so next turn. 3 more tiles. So here's a nice bridge. We've got a bridge in the Inari statue plus a Torii gate and then a bridge. All right, so that's lots of bridges, lots of lots of foxes. So let's see what I could possibly do to, excuse me. All right, 1 second as I think. What I'm actually gonna do, because my path is most likely gonna move, I'm gonna take the reference, just move it off to the side. Again, that's useful to have out in front of you, and it's still semi on screen here, so we're good. Alrighty, so what is along that path? Oh, but I also wanted to potentially, because if I can place, I wonder if I could score multiples. No, I don't think I can. Again, I'm looking at my goal cards and considering if I can place, what do you call it? If I can place a tile here, that's 3 points to me. Before I do that though, what I could do is move the poet and then place one. That might actually, it doesn't help me any. Can move the poet, get a ton of, no, that's not it. I don't need the gambler. I wonder if we want to use a lonely path tile. I feel like that might actually help maybe get us moving over to here. All right, so let's oh no, I can't, never mind. I have one, so basically I need to either use the gambler or I need to place, that could be interesting actually. What if we do an enclosure? Enclosure, will that help me? It really won't. I do know I want to use this tile though. Oh, and also it's the start of the turn, sorry. Samurai, thank you for your services. We'll just leave her up here for now. That column is not blocked anymore. So I'm going to be giving these to the solo opponent. Okay. I'm going to take the one with the Torii gate. And I don't think it is worth it right now. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is. That's what we'll do. I'm going to use 1 token to actually use the gambler. So we're going to take that die and roll it. Whatever it is, I'm stuck with. Ooh, all right. So it's a Fushimi statue, that little fox. I'm going to place that. Fox is already on. I was thinking of putting it on a tile and I needed anything but. That's fine. But I think what I want to do is I want to kind of set myself up for maybe making an enclosure. So let's see. I'm actually going to put it here. Might be a little tricky to see, but there's a little path right here that could be an enclosure. An enclosure, again, you need to have at least 2 landmarks in it. So I will put that one there. And then I am very, very tempted to actually do that to get an enclosure. Because it completes it again, because now there is, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I get 1 token for the Inari. It's okay. And then I completed an enclosure though, so that's going to be another 2 points. Pick up that one. And hold on. I think I just completed something because wasn't that yeah, I got 1. There it is. I did it again. I got 1 token. So that wasn't a bad turn there. Then we got to go and contend with Onatsu. So this one is definitely going in the bridge column. And that's going to trigger the Fushimi Inari ability. So that one, she's going to gain 1 small token. And once she gets 5 up here, she will convert that into a 5-pointer. And that can be used to actually complete some of the other goals. So gotta be careful. Then the choice is, do we give her another? No, okay. My area, I may need to reorganize. It's fine. We're gonna give her the bridge one. So 2 bridges. She gets the 5-pointer for that. And then she gets another Fushimi Inari token. So she's at 2. These stay on here, by the way, but they are used for tiebreakers. Because again, she's not going to be paying for those. Let's see if we can organize my play area slightly. And I know some of these are going off the screen right now, but we'll take a look at those once this entire garden kind of takes shape and we see where it is. Okay, so that was another turn. So let's go to the next one. Tricky part again is that I only have 1 token. So again, I potentially will do something with that, but here is, go to Water Basin and Lotus, Water Basin and a red Torii, ooh, and then a Lotus and 2 red Torii gates. That's a lot. So, let's see. Gonna leave the Gambler die out there. Actually, I just want to confirm. It should just, yeah, it'll just stay out there. Okay. Let's see. How do we want to do this? This is a nice one. I don't really need the Gambler to help me out. I mean, potentially, but not really. The Vendor, that's a Water Basin. Where's that going to go? Yeah, but I don't want to get you. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go hire the Vendor. Let's just grab that token. Get you over here a little bit. And I'm going to place this tile at the bottom of the stack and then draw a new one. Okay, all right. That could potentially work. So if I give those and then I use this one, maybe if we set ourselves up for something. I actually don't... The tricky part here is this blue Torii gate. If that goes to Onatsu, she's going to make me discard 2 tokens. And what I'm looking at doing is maybe getting points. But if I complete that one, that doesn't really help me. What if we go like that? That might make a lot more sense. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to place this one here. And so before I forget, that does score me. Again, I completed another goal, placing a tile adjacent to a poet. And that will get me, let's see. So it's just going to go, it's a very short path back to the starting. So that will gain me 1 Lotus token and through a blue, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'll get a stone because at this point, what's going to happen is that Onatsu, so this is either going to, let's see. This is, well, that makes more sense, yeah. We're going to put that here because that one, again, does not trigger a shrine ability. So just take that Onatsu, enjoy. And then this one has to go into the lantern column. And then, because it's a blue Torii, I need to discard 2 tokens. Ugh, not the best, but hey, we'll work with it. We'll keep on going. Okay. So now we have a bridge with a oh. The tricky part here is that there's a lot of Torii gates. So I need to decide partially what will help me and what I'm okay with Onatsu taking. So the bridge, okay. I think I'm going to give up this token. Oh, let's get it on the screen. I think I'm going to give up, actually, this one's going to go to Onatsu. I'll put it in like a diamond. That's going. And then, let's see, how far back is a stone? A stone tile is pretty far away. What would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right, I think I can actually complete a couple of goals here. We are going to put this up here. And I know that I'm going to lose some stuff to Onatsu. That's okay. I've accepted my fate. So I am just traveling back as you are blocking that. I just need to, and then it's going to be there. Okay, so this is a pretty long path. I think we might get a couple of things happening here. So it's going to be for the stone. So I gain 1 stone to start with. And then I like to count up the red Torii first, then the blue Torii. So let's just do that. So I'm going to travel along. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. So that protects those, gets us a 5 token. All right. And then how many blue? We had 1, 2, 3. Okay. So what I can do here, I got it. What do I actually need? I mean, I'm going to lose a lot of these. I'm going to gain 2 bridge tokens and an Inari. So several things have happened here. Okay. I completed this goal. And actually, can you complete more? I just want to make sure. Again, I have this memorized. Right? Yes. The same. Yes. I got it. Perfect. So I completed that one. Also, what I can't score is if I had 2 of the same one, I could not score 2 of those at once. But I did different things. I did not do this. There's a ton of Torii gates. So I'm looking at the ones. There's Torii gates all over the place. Did I get 8 tokens? I have to see. And is this an 8+ path? Let me just count. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is an 8+ path. So we will gain that one. And then did I gain? Let me see. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, I did that too. All right, and then since we went around, I get 3 more gold. And these ones, again, I would not be able to earn these on the same turn that I'm drawing them, so these just go into my potentials, we'll say. Alrighty, we did that. Then we need to contend with Onatsu, gaining her stuff. What do we want to do first? Let's first move it out of the way. Make some room for Onatsu. We'll give her this bridge, which is going to gain her first. Oh, first she's going to gain a, who are you? Gardener on the 4-point side, which is going to be a little weird, but it's fine. I got it. And then that will trigger another token here. And then she's going to have either a, let's see. I will gladly put you here in the Lotus column, which again will gain her a 5-pointer. Let's just make sure. Can we see everything here? I think we can. That's all of Onatsu's stuff. Great. And where did I just place that? You just got the Lotus. And that means that's a blue, so I need to discard 2. I will discard 1 stone and I guess 1 bridge. No. Fox. We'll see how that works. Okay. At least I have 2, so I can actually hire. We'll see who I might want to meet in the garden this time. So here's this one. We got one with no Torii on it and a double Torii one. Okay. Let's see. Stone or bridge? Do I care? Well, we can't put anything else in the stone column, so you'd have to go into the bridge. Again, this is me doing the usual. What do I want to do? Wonder would that work? I don't think it would. The other thing I haven't used, well, I can't hire her yet. I want to use the Pilgrim to show how those Lonely Path tiles work. They're pretty cool. I feel like we need to do something on this side, but I mean, I have a really good Torii path going on there. You're not useful to that, though. Are you? Yeah. No, but This is the sounds of Jessica during solo making decisions. Okay. Let's see. I mean, we might as well just keep going with it. But you. Well, I mean, you're in the lantern column. We could block the lantern. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to give you another 10-pointer, though. So what do I want to do here? I want 3 small tokens is what I need, and I only have 2. So fine. Okay, you know what? That's fine. We're going to spend those 2 in order to hire the samurai again. And as a reminder, that is the last time that I can use the samurai. So we'll see if that pans out. But again, this is going to be going to her, Onatsu, and then this one too. And I am going to place this lovely bridge token. Trying to see. Yeah, we'll come back this way. Also, I notice how we're a leaning tower a little bit. There we go. I'm actually going to move the coins out of the way because we don't need those anymore. I need more room for my garden. All right, but this is going to complete the bridge. So let me just real quickly trace it back. Where is the closest bridge to here? It's going to be back to, really? We really don't have a lot of bridges out here. That's not connected. Okay. All right, so we're going to be going back through there. I'll take it. All right, so let's first grab 1 bridge token for starting this. And then I check for red first. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Great. Perfect. And how many blue? 1, 2, 3. Yep, so 3 of anything else. I think we'll grab 2 Inari and a water basin. Because I think we just completed a couple of things here again. Let's see. Is that another 8? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, that's another 8 path one. Tons of that going on, and I didn't do that. Just have to check this one real quick to confirm again. This is how I play. I'm so used to just, the rule book is my best friend all the time. Score a path that contains all 6 landmarks in it. Okay, so technically I think I did that because we went back to the starting tile. So we did that one. Okay. And then again, we did 3 next to that, so we will pick up a couple more potential, those are potential goal cards as I smash the garden in my excitement over, over everything. All right, that should be reasonably straight, I think. Perfect. All right, and then let's give our Onatsu hurt. Okay, so again, because I put the samurai there, this one can't go in the lantern column. It's out of play. And then this one is either going to be in the, okay, so we're either going to trigger giving you that, or, no, I want to avoid goal cards as much as possible. We're going to put it here, which gives her another Fushimi Inari token, which I think 2, 3, 4. She's at 4. So 1 more, and she gains points from that. Let's keep going. We're getting to the end here. Just a few more turns left. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Lots to choose from. We have this one. Ooh, and another double. Interesting. All right, so once again, let's go into Jeopardy mode as I as I think these things through and plan and see what in the world would make the most sense. What am I looking at? Water basin is helpful. The issue here, I shouldn't say issue. I'm picking up a lot of goal cards, but as you can see, I'm not really turning everything into point. I mean, I do have a sizable stack, so maybe I am. I did play this beforehand, and I got tons and tons of wild tokens. So this is like a completely different play from what I had been experiencing before, which is very interesting, I will say. Very different, and it's just based on how the starting tiles came out. So that's cool. Makes me think, though. I have tons of all right, this is it. this is the time I think we want to hire the pilgrim and use her ability finally. Let's get her out there. So she is going to cost 3 tokens to hire. Let me just grab her tile here. Again, I know it's a little bit off screen, but she's been accounted for. And then I get to take any of these Lonely Path tiles. Since none are in play, it's obviously going to be one from that stack. And I am just thinking what I want to do, because all of them will include a red and blue Torii gate, but they go in different directions. You can kind of see the different patterns. So I'm just trying to decide where to go. I do wonder if we place you, because what I'm going to do is I place this and then I get to place my tile. So the tricky part is a lot of this is going to go. The other thing, instead of playing the pilgrim, do I play the geisha? I love the pilgrim, but I am going to go back just based on the tiles that I have in hand, and instead we're going to flip over my geisha. So I can play 2 tiles, which, again, not exactly what I wanted to do, but that's all right. So I want to just make sure that you don't get what? Ooh, that would be horrible. This one's horrible for you to get. This one's acceptable for you to get. Okay. So this is going to go to Onatsu. And I am going to play, again, because I get to play 2 tiles, we're going to get 1 up here. Pardon the slight yelling. This is a little bit further than I expected it would go, but that's fine. I think the water basin isn't a bad idea. So we'll go here. Alrighty. Let's score that path. It's not super long, but it's pretty good. So we're going to gain 1 water basin just for starting that. And then I'm looking through, I have 1, 2, 3 more water basins. 3, got it. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I can get 4 of something else. Perfect, because I'm going to get 4 of my fox statue, which will get me this, which gets me, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different types. I gain this 5-point bonus. That's mine. Again, we'll get these all into view when we do scoring at the end. Did we complete anything else? What did I get there? I did not actually get 3 different types. That's fine. Let me see. Did I play? That was not next to an enclosure. I did not place you. Nope. And I have 1 that, again, it's obvious. Okay, gain 5 or more small tokens on your turn without using any characters. That's not what happened here. So, no gold cards there. That's okay. I'm still happy with it, because now only 1 of these is going to Onatsu, and not the lantern yet, no. She will get, do I want to give her the water basin? Ooh, actually, the lantern's better. So multiple things are going to happen here. Number 1, that's her 4th one, so she gains the 10 point for the lantern. Then this is a red Torii, so she's going to get this guy. However, that's good because I can't put any more tiles in that column, so she can't complete any of those 3-pointers underneath. Then there is, oh, darn it. There's this blue Torii, so I have to discard 2. But she got a double, actually, is this off the screen? It's a little bit off the screen, and I apologize. But this is the one she got, and because there are 2 Torii gates on there, that means she gets the top one. So that one immediately has to go into here, which is actually probably the best spot. That was actually the best spot I could have hoped for. You can't fool me, Onatsu. She can. Me beating her is a challenge. All right, so let's keep going. We are very close to the end here. This looks like we have one turn after this. So we've got one here. Ooh, we have a lot of Torii gates going on. Let's see. I don't know. I don't I don't want her to have any of these. So I think, and I don't know if it's actually going to pan out, but I am going to spend 1 token to hire the vendor again. This is the last time I can do that. And that means that I place one of these on the bottom. Just a second. Stone isn't that bad to take out here. But this one is. Although, is it? Because if I keep that one, it's fine. It's more double, toil and trouble. I don't know. All right, we're going to do that. We're going to place this one underneath, pick up this one, and hope for the best. All right, slightly better. I'm not too upset about that one. It's not really what I wanted, though. None of these are what I want. So, all right. This is okay because this only has a stone landmark on it. Her column is full, so this won't do anything for her. And honestly, I don't think those Torii gates or the placement, that's not going to help me that much in gaining what I need. Then I just need to figure out, okay, can we make an enclosure? We can do another enclosure potentially. Which, it's not as helpful as it may look. Or we could get, because, it may look like I'm way ahead here, but I never trust it. All right, just make a decision. Make a decision. Oh, that's a no Maya, though. This is not. Okay, there we go. Sometimes it helps by looking at Onatsu's board and figuring out what will help her the most. You just steer clear of that. All right, so we are going to place this tile. I just need to follow my path back. That's a pretty good path up there. It's going to get me that's a lot of tokens. Yeah, that's definitely it. So let's see, I think this will still stay on camera. Here we go. And again, it might make more sense to work around the shrines, but you never know. Again, it's called Diverging Paths. There's a lot of paths you can make in this. So let us go through and see what I have done. Did I use... Also, sorry, the samurai's been hanging out here for the longest time, and she was done ages ago. All right, so, or was I supposed to use her? No matter. I want the points anyway. No, I think I'm fine. Samurai's good. She can go back to hang out in the lonely path, make it a little less lonely. Alright, so get my tokens. What I was saying was, I did get help from a character though, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay, ignore. So, that is 1 here, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's 7 more. So that flips to a 10, and we get 2 more here. That's a lot. And then blue Torii gates, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So, yeah, we'll get 4, which turns this into a 10. And then 1 of something else. We'll get a lotus. And that means I think that, all right, so this didn't happen. This didn't happen. No. Did we? No. But I did get 3 different types of tokens, so that one is completed. However, we did it again. That's 3 more gold cards, which I think I took them all. All right. Okay, let's see. Did that. All set. There we go. Now we got to give this to Onatsu. Let's take a look. So, her stone column is complete, so this has to go into this column, which gives her a 10. And of course, she beat me to it. She's got this 5-point bonus for having 3 10s. Hold on, but I just flip? Lotus, right? Did I just flip the lotus? Yes. That was this one. Nothing there. That means I need to discard 2 tokens. I'll do this. It's a lot of Onatsu. And then this is a stone, but since it's already filled in, boom, out of play. And then we go into the very last turn, and I only have 2. I never got to use the Lonely Path. Appalling. All right, so we're gonna have this one. Oh, that's, Onatsu's gonna get some points here. Very, very tricky. Okay, so wonder if we can, what I am looking to do is not gonna happen because I really didn't build around this shrine down here, which would have given me more wild tokens, but you know, what are you gonna do? I should probably, let's see, who can I actually hire? I can hire the gambler again. So let us spend a token to roll the gambler die. It is a bridge. Okay. Let's see. Well, we could do an enclosure, actually. Can we make an enclosure next to an enclosure? I don't think so. Let's see. I mean, darn. Actually, if I could... No, you still have to just score 1. I don't need this bridge. This bridge is not gonna it's not gonna help me. All right, Onatsu's gonna take this one, which I'll deal with in a second. Yeah, she's gonna gain a lot, but I'm just thinking if I want to place this or if I want to roll again. Did I flip him over? Gambler, excuse me. You go to a 2-point or a 4-point from a 2-point. Let's see. I can see a nice enclosure up here. I really don't want to, I mean, it sounds like it's wasted, but we're going to put this bridge over here, which, again, doesn't really do much because I want an enclosure, which is, I don't know, it might be the wrong move, but I'm going for it. We're going to place that up here. There we go. So that is an enclosure because there's 2 bridges in there, so I gain 1 bridge token for completing that. And we flip over my 2-point enclosure to the 4-point enclosure. That may not seem like that exciting of a final turn, but we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. And then the only tile going to Onatsu is going to be in the water basin section. Several things are going to happen here, though. So she's got 2 there, so she'll get the 5-point water basin. We're just going to move this a little bit just to make a little more room so we can see. That is a red Torii gate, so she will gain the 4-point geisha up here. She has triggered this, which is actually, she has 4 at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. She gets a 5th, so those will go away, and she'll get a 5-pointer, which now she does have. She gets this one because that wild does count. All right, and then I think, all right, that's everything. let's count up the score and see how well I did. So I'm gonna move some of my tokens up a little bit into the play area. So we're gonna have 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. These don't count for anything, but they could be a tiebreaker. We're at 40, right? 10, 20, 30, 40. This is 45, 49, 53, 57, 61, 65, 67. And then I'm just going to get these out of here because we didn't complete them. This is 70, 73, 76, 79, 82, 85, 88, 91, 94. Ooh, that's a little bit higher than I had before. 94. 94. Remember that. Let's count up Onatsu. She's got 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 59, 63, 67, 71, 75, and she did not complete any of those. I did it! I did it! I have beat Onatsu 94 to 75, but it would have been a lot closer. Saw how I was managing this. If she had actually completed these ones, that would have been, what, 78, 81, 84. That would have been 90. So it would have been 94 to 90 if she had completed those. But because I managed that, that worked out in my favor. I'm just excited, and I'm double checking because Onatsu is like my arch enemy. But that is the solo playthrough for the 100 Torii Diverging Paths. I am a little sad that we didn't get to see the Pilgrim, the Lonely tiles go into play, but again, that would have looked something like placing a tile, one of these large tiles like this, and then placing my tile there, which would have scored some more tokens and been pretty cool to see. Take it off the board. There was my final layout though. And again, Onatsu. Also, the other thing that helped a lot was all those tiles that Onatsu did not get to pick up, which I kind of managed. So there's definitely a really big challenge here. If you can do it right or do it well, then it works out nicely. But again, that's how those different shrines and locations work. The new characters add a couple different strategies on how to plan it. And like I said, I played this before with the same two locations, and it played completely differently. It was a lot more focused on picking up wild tokens. I had a lot more 10-point landmark tokens out there than before. I will say one of the things that has helped me a lot, that I've learned a lot recently, is making use of those characters. They are vital to doing well. But yeah, that is it. Onatsu has been beaten for today, but I know she's going to beat me next time, so that's fine. Thanks so much for watching, and take care. Bye.